Hi guys, it's Eric Cressey at Cressey Sports Performance in Jupiter, Florida. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how we coach the landmine press. This is a great exercise that we use with all of our clients, but particularly with overhead throwing athletes, where we need to learn to drive some upward rotation to their shoulder blade instead of just kind of pinning them down and back on a bench with bench press variations. So there are a couple of really important coaching cues that I think people miss, so I want to go through those today. Big thing about the landmine press is the starting position. You want to make sure that the core is in a neutral position. So what I will usually give athletes the cue of is to lock the rib cage to the pelvis. We'll even take a pinky to their belt line and thumbs to the ribs and just have them engage that before they even get the bar in place. And we want to maintain that clear, consistent pattern through the lumbar spine as we go through the pressing motion. Okay? So as you press the top, you don't want to hyperextend away from the bar itself. So he's going to start down here in a true bottom position. Okay? So what we don't want is we don't want him really close in. One of the second biggest mistakes besides the core position is a lot of guys will get so close that as they go up, it'll kind of just be like a straight shoulder flexion pattern. What we instead want is almost like to think about a little bit of like an around the world pattern that drives good upward rotation of their shoulder blades. So you don't want to start really close. You want a little bit of a gap here and you want to come up and around. So let's go through a couple reps and we'll kind of coach these through. Okay? Sometimes it's even easiest to teach from the top down. Okay? And you'll notice that Ian's not real close here. He's got about a 30-degree window between his elbow and his sides. And as he comes down, first off, the elbows don't dip behind the body, which would drive a tipping forward of his shoulder blade. Instead, he stays a little bit further out and doesn't drop all the way down. Okay? As he comes up, if you come from the back here, you'll notice that there's good upward rotation of the shoulder blade taking place, and that this shoulder blade doesn't pop forward as he comes to that bottom position. The last really important cue I want to talk about is as he presses, you're going to think about him almost leaning into the bar. So go ahead up. You'll notice that he's kind of leaning into it. You can also do this when it's half kneeling, tall kneeling. Really important to kind of get your momentum going forward. If he was to stay back while he presses, go ahead and do a bad one, you'll notice that it drives some extension through his low back. He only gets about maybe 110, 115 degrees of shoulder flexion, and he doesn't drive good upward rotation of the scapula. Whereas if he leans in, he's going to get that good upward rotation as he kind of follows his hands with his body. All right? So landmine press is super important. You shouldn't feel that one focal kind of muscular activation in the front of your shoulder. Instead, it should be the whole shoulder girdle working together. So to recap, don't let the lower back extend. Don't keep the elbow too close to the body. Give it a little bit of daylight. Don't drop too far down, and make sure you lean into the bar as you go up and don't shoot into forward head posture as you do so. Great exercise, try it out.